Hello, everyone. Welcome to day one of the 5-day Love Fest challenge. I'm so excited to have you here with me. I hope you had the most wonderful Christmas and holiday celebration, and you're here full of festivities with high energy and really enjoying the last days of 2018. If you don't know me, my name is Sharzad and I'm a certified love and relationship coach, and I'm a mentor to women who desire to attract and keep their soulmate relationships. The new year is just around the corner, and that's exactly why I'm doing the Love Fest challenge now. I mean, what better way? Or what better time, I should say, than now for you to learn whatever you need to learn going into the new year so you can manifest that amazing love life and that man that you've always dreamed of since you were a little girl. But before we start, if this is the first time you meet me or you're new to the group, I'd like to warmly welcome you, my lovelies. You're in the right place if you want to have a love life that is both fulfilling and truly happy. So, in today's live training, I want to share with you what are the traits and characteristics of the women who men absolutely adore and cherish. If you are anything like I used to be, you are innocently making some mistakes that push men away with great intentions. And that's the thing. What you think is going to make a man love you and stay with you forever is backfiring, or it has until now, and it has made you feel so confused. I mean, it used to make me feel really confused, and it would make me really doubt myself and my self-worth, and it would make me feel really frustrated because while I tried so hard to make a man happy and for him to see me as this loving and caring woman that I thought I was portraying myself to be, it had the exact opposite effect actually for him. And after some time, while I was trying so hard, I would hear those dreaded words that he's not feeling it for me and that I deserve better, or I would, I'm a great girl and he just doesn't see a future with me and he doesn't want to waste my time. And I would feel so resentful. I would be fuming and in tears because after everything that I did and every effort that I made, they were giving me the same heartbreaking answers over and over. It's so good to see you all tuning in, ladies. And it wasn't until I truly learned to my core that what were those high value traits of the women who men cherished. And that's when my love life changed 180 degrees. I attracted my now adoring husband, and I truly learned I was doing everything wrong, innocently, like everything wrong in the past. And the 5 traits that I'm going to share with you today, I had none of them. And no wonder my love life was a mess, and who I was attracting wasn't exactly the kind of the man that I wanted to have in my life. So, or they didn't want to commit to me. So here we go. Let's get started. And without any more further ado, I'm going to give you the 5 qualities and traits that women have, that those average women, that has nothing to do with their looks. It has nothing to do with what they have accomplished or with how much money they make or how many kids they have. It has nothing to do with any of them, but that's how these traits that they exude that really attracts those high quality men. So the number one quality of a woman who men adore is that she does not chase. I know if you've been following me for a while, you know this, but let's make sure that you really get this. The basics of not chasing a man is obviously going up to him and asking him out. It's not initiating any form of contact, sending him good morning and good night text first, reaching out to him when you haven't heard from him for a day or two. So aside from those, And if you don't know what the basics are, leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you. So it's a little bit of a more of advanced training. But like I said, if you're new and you don't know what chasing really is, you can leave it on the comments. But aside from those, you need to know all the subtle ways that women make a mistake of chasing men. So when I stopped doing those, I thought I had it, but really I didn't. So see if you can relate to any of this. So what does the subtle way of chasing look like? She has an eye out on his social media. When was he last online? Why was he online at that odd hour? What pictures is he liking? Who are the women who are liking his photos, for example? She's thinking about him when he's not there. She has, like I said, one eye on her phone when she's out with her friends. She's just consciously or unconsciously continues to seek new ways to make him more interested in her. So she posts things on social media waiting for him to like or comment on it. She basically has an ulterior motive of having him like her more with what she says, does, or doesn't do. And ladies, all of this is energetically chasing. And men are so intuitive and they can smell the strategy from miles away. Please don't tell yourself that you're not chasing a man when you're no longer showing up at his doorstep with a surprise, here you go, some dinner, because I thought you might be too tired to cook for yourself, or accidentally running into him to the grocery store. Anytime you're deliberately trying to make him think of you, like you're chasing him. Mind games equal chasing him. When you want to not post something on Facebook because you think, oh, I want him to not know what I'm up to. Or when you are like trying to make, you post a picture of you with your girlfriend, deliberately having that ulterior motive that I want to show him that I have a full life and I have an amazing life and for him to like me more. That is also chasing. Playing hard to get is equal chasing. Having an agenda equals chasing. And high value women, queens, the women who men adore, don't chase. They truly have zero desire to. They're so anchored in the present moment that when the man isn't in the front of them, if he's physically not there or he's not calling her or is not texting her, then she has no desire to be catching his attention because her attention is completely off of him. He's not the first thing on her mind when she wakes up. And she doesn't have this need to, where is he? Why hasn't he sent me a good morning message? So if you find yourself in that exhausting energy of chasing men, I want you to first acknowledge it. Congratulations, because awareness is the first key to making a huge shift. And then make a commitment to yourself of becoming fully aware of when it's happening and stop it in tracks. And this is the mantra that I used to have, because trust me, I know it's difficult at the beginning, especially if you're used to it. Breaking a pattern is not easy. I fully acknowledge it and I get it. So I had to really monitor my self-talk and tell myself things that would actually put me back into my high value energy. And the mantras that I would use was, I'm a high value queen who's anchored in her present moment. High value men chase me. I'm a queen. I don't chase. They chase me. And bringing myself to the present moment and really paying attention to what is in front of me, and he who is not in front of me does not get my attention. And I'm really, really aware of my ulterior motives. I'm going to put a stop to it and not give into it. Really helped to shift my energy around. So that is the number one thing that I want you to do. I'm so glad to see so many of you online. So lovely to see you. So that was number one. Now let's move to number two. The number 2 trait of a woman who men adore is that she receives with joy and gratitude. A high value queen is so very open to receiving. She receives a text, she receives flowers, she receives attention, compliments, she goes on the dates, she gets gifts, she receives the quality time that he's giving her with a big smile on her face. And she truly feels the gratitude from her heart. She loves receiving and she feels worthy of it. And she wakes up thanking the God and universe, whatever she believes in, blessed with another day. So she embodies the attitude of gratitude. I think you may have heard this before. Having that attitude of gratitude is a high value queen behavior. So when giving you very few subtle examples of it, when someone holds a door for her, she smiles and gives a big thank you. When a friend offers to pay for her coffee, she feels super happy and accepts it. And when she's on a date, she's open to receiving his compliments, his energy, and the interest just flows towards her and him, and including him paying on the date. So she allows the men to give because she has gotten it from the depth of her soul that men love to give to women. Masculine energy men love giving to women and make them happy. And the more she receives with joy, she knows that the more he's going to feel attracted to her. Now, you may come across men who have been trained by other women who aren't doing giving so much, and they believe in the 50-50 because they believe otherwise it's not equality, and that's okay. Those men have the right to believe in what they want, but they are just not your men. So there's no reason to get angry at them or question whether or not this is, a true man. It is true that whether men love to give. Remember, the kind of man that you do want, the kind of man that you want who cherishes and adores you loves to give. So and there's no reason to get angry. So just like us who had been trained badly before and we were making mistakes, so are men, and that's okay. So when you come across a man who doesn't want to give, instead of feeling upset about it, turn the question back to yourself. In what ways am I not giving to myself that I'm attracting the kind of man that doesn't want to give to me? This is not to make yourself wrong, or this is not to blame yourself, but this is to really take responsibility and see, because we are constantly attracting, and we go to attraction and manifestation more in the next few days, but we're always attracting an extension of the relationship that we have with ourselves. So if you're attracting men who don't want to give to you, then you can always turn around the question and let this be one of the challenges that, in what ways am I not giving to me? And remember this. Receiving with gratitude means that you also give back in moderation. Many of women ask me about what is the ratio. Am I only supposed to get and never give? Because there are a lot of coaches that the feminine energy coaches that they call themselves, that they really believe that you have to give nothing. I don't believe in that for 1 second, because men are still human and they deserve to be given to in moderation. So what is a good moderation to give back? I would say 3 to 4 to 1. So 3 times, 4 times to 1. So and it's not an equal amount. It's not like, okay, he is paid for 3 dates that we've spent $50, so on the 4th date I'm going to do that. No, you can give back by giving offering to pay for a drink, offering to pay for dessert, or bringing a homemade muffin or dessert, something that is small and thoughtful, and you can And you always present it in a way, and I teach this in my magnetic scripts, but a very, very proper script to give back to a man is letting him know that this is because he's been treating you so well and you've been really enjoying receiving from him, and you would like to show your gratitude by giving back to him. So it's really, really important to put that in a phrase so a man knows that this is a way of you thanking him. It's not just because you want to compete with him and give back to him as quickly as possible, which is one of the biggest struggles that I had. I was always into, oh, I owe. So if he's doing something for me, I need to do it as quickly as possible for him to know that I'm not taking advantage, and being fair and equal and all of that. So that's the second one. A high quality queen, a woman who men love, receives with gratitude and gives back in moderation. Let's not forget that. Let me see the comments. I see so many of you are on. Can you explain that 3-4-1 ratio? Ashley, I just did. Let me know if that made sense. If not, at the end, I'll come back to it, love. All right. So good to see you, Nermeen, and everybody. So number 3, a woman that men adore doesn't demand. Now, she loves receiving. She loves it. She receives with joy. She receives with gratitude, but she doesn't demand it. And she doesn't throw a tantrum if a man is not willing to give to her. So covered it a little bit in the last point, but many women really get obsessed with receiving and measuring how much a man gives, and they get angry if he doesn't. And this isn't about that at all, ladies. You have to first and foremost be able to give to yourself that which you want a man can give to you. So if you're on a date and the man doesn't offer to pay for your meal or think that it should be 50-50, you must be able to pay for your half. And there is no reason, like I said, to get angry, because this may have a story, a baggage that you're unaware of. He may have been taken advantage of in the past. He may have received no appreciation when he was doing so much in the past. So it's his trigger. Or simply he's not a masculine energy man, and that's okay. Not every single man out there is that. So a high value woman observes these, doesn't judge, and she simply moves on because she knows her man, the man that is supposed to be her future man, is happily giving to her. So she doesn't feel like she needs to make a man a masculine energy man. Same goes for texting and calling. If he's not willing to give her the amount of time and attention that she likes, she doesn't go into the power struggle. No, you must call me more. You're the man. Don't you know this is a man's job, that you're supposed to initiate contact? I actually had clients that told them to a man, you must text me multiple times a day because that's a man's job. No. None of that. She observes, and if her needs aren't being met, and she just starts to lose interest. If the man and then asks what's going on, she simply says, I'm a woman who loves to receive more attention. I love to receive more call, whatever that is that you want. And I noticed that this is not something that is happening from what experiences that we have together, and I'm completely okay with that, but I tend to lose interest and feel turned off. And that's it. No, I'm waiting for you to do more and more and do more, call me more, text me more, plan dates more for me to like you. That's such a heavy energy and such demanding. It's just simply putting it to a man, I lose interest, and showing it the two. It's not like you're constantly texting him and you're trying to get his attention, and you're saying that you're losing interest. You have to embody the energy of actually losing interest in a man who is not willing to give to you, whether it's attention, whether it's more dates, whether it's quality time, whatever is it that you want, and you're not getting enough of it, you lose interest in such a man. So you allow yourself to Feel turned off, show it, not as a game, but as your truth. And if he is right for you, he'll step up. If he's not right for you, he'll step out. Either way, you'll win because you don't want a man hanging around that is not your man and then basically waste your time. Okay? I hope this has been helpful. Let me know in the comments of how you're feeling about all of this. So many of you are here. Hi, Amy. I'm glad you're loving this, Lori. So cool. Now, number 4 quality of a woman that men adore is that she is warm and light. So that's like the opposite of the demanding queen. A high value queen has this lightness and warmth about her. Have you noticed women that are like that they just enter a room and they're just light in their energy? They always have a smile on. They walk around with their hearts open. They are not always complaining. They're not always nagging. They don't talk about all the negative things that are happening on the news. Everyone wants to be around these women, including men. These women are so in touch with their feelings, and it's not that they don't, feel sad or angry or jealous or any of that, but because they allow themselves to feel those emotions, they don't carry the energy for hours and days. They can let things go way quicker because they really, really appreciate life. They don't want to relive the unhappy moments over and over and over. They don't want to hold grudges and make themselves feel miserable. And healthy men that are high value, love women whose energies are light and breezy. They love being around that vibe of pure love energy. They're just full of life and love for themselves. And men find these women their energy infectious, and they find it super attractive. So ladies, get really good at feeling all your emotions. Learn how to process them. Learn how to let go quickly so you can come back to happy and warm and be in that energy more often than not. Meaning, if your default state is happy, that means that you're emotionally becoming quicker with processing it. If your default is always nagging, if your default is always heavy, if your default is always about all the things that are going wrong in the world, you're not being an attraction to the kind of man that you want to have in your life. So you make sure that happy state is where you want to be most of the time, and that makes you so much more attractive to men. And the last one, so the 5th quality of the women who men absolutely adore is that they have high standards. And what does it mean to have high standards? It means that those kind of women don't fall for any man who gives them the slightest interest, to show them a little bit of an interest in one amazing date. That woman, a high value woman, her heart is not easily captured. Her heart isn't captured by any of the surface level qualities either. And what I mean by that is that she doesn't fall in love with only good looks or a lot of money or the accomplishment. All of it is great, but if they're not complemented with internal high qualities, they mean nothing to her. I mean, you could have lots of money and be super accomplished and be, as a president of the country, and still be a very crappy person and be narrow-minded and have no morals. So that could be still true. So she has high standards. She needs to see consistent good behavior. She needs to see how he behaves with the waiter, with the doorman, with his family. How does he behave around her family, around her friends? How is he there for her when she's not feeling well, when she's sick, when she's going through a hard time? How kind is he? How courteous he is? How generous is he? How loving, respectful, honest is he? She knows what she wants in her future man. And you can, even if he buys her a big bouquet of a flower, or take her to like a restaurant that he pays $1,000, none of it means anything to her until he proves to her that he is the kind of a man that is going to consistently make her happy. So what does that mean? That means that she needs the time. She needs for some time to pass by for him to show what he's made of, because everybody, ladies, is on their greatest best behavior at the beginning. Everyone is. The first few months, the first few weeks, everyone is on their best behavior. So a high value woman, a woman that knows what it means to be in a relationship that is for the long haul, not just the first nice few days. She looks for a lot of qualities that you will not see and find until you spend a certain time with a man. So let me quickly look at the comments. Laurie says internal high quality is important. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, Nama. Good to see you. And Amy says, thank you for explaining rightness. That helps me to hear. I'm so glad, lovely. Nermeen, warm and light. So glad to see you all ladies here and seeing what you are learning. So ladies, these are the 5 qualities, and of course there are more, but these are some of the core qualities that I found when I changed within me, when I became very, very aware of these qualities within me, especially with the chasing. The energetic chasing was a big one for me. I really thought once I stopped, and once I stopped doing things for them, then that meant I wasn't chasing anymore. Not knowing that any time that I'm obsessing, any time that I'm worried, any time that I'm thinking, what is he up to? Does he like me? What does he think of me? All of that is a still energetic chasing. And being a woman who truly now gets that energy is everything. Everything has, whatever we're doing, if the intention behind it doesn't match, and if you have an ulterior motive, it's always going to be coming from that masculine control, then it's not working. It really isn't working. And of course, the beginning, it's so important that you still sit on your hands when you want to go ahead and text, and you don't go into initiating contact and in planning a date. Those are amazing starting points, but at this point I really want you to understand that it also matters when you're actually not taking the actions, what's going on in your head. So that self-talk, what you say in your own head, and the emotion that it evokes in you is super important for you to be energetically not chasing a man away. Bliss says, question, you mentioned about processing and letting go of emotions quickly. How can you do it quickly, like in the moment he triggers you and you feel angry? Oh, awesome question. So in the moment of a trigger, when you are in his presence, and I cover this really in depth in my magnetic scripts program, it's not about being light and breezy when you're not, being fake. It's never about that. But being able to communicate that effectively, and not in a blaming way, not in a harsh, and this is your fault, and I'm feeling angry because you did this, but on the contrary, being able to say, oh, I don't feel great right now. I feel angry and I need a minute to process my feelings. So you're not thinking out loud. You're not processing your emotions while he's in your presence. You can take a step back, and men really get that, because men are very unapologetic about when they need time. You've all seen it. Men go to their man caves unapologetically. They don't even give you a notice. They don't even explain themselves. When they need the time to feel something through or go through something, they take a step back, and they don't go and say, oh my God, when I take a step back, is she going to think that I don't like her anymore? Is she going to think that I'm not interested anymore? All the little nasty voices that goes on in our heads, it doesn't happen to them. So they will really understand when you communicate to, and this is, I'm talking about healthy men. I'm not talking about narcissist men. I'm not talking about man boys who need, mommy's attention right away, or I'm talking about healthy men. So a healthy man, when a woman feels triggered and upset, will really honor her when she says, I don't feel like I feel sad and I need a minute. I feel angry and I need a minute. And she goes and she whether she needs to go to the bathroom, whether she needs to leave and go, when they are on a date and she would like to go home and process, and I'm talking about dating phases here, then they really, really can understand it. And that's when you process your emotions. When what was it that made me feel angry? And what story did I tell myself when that happened? What meaning did I give it when that was happening? So it really, really helps you to process it. And then if there's more discussions that needs to be had, of course, you're going to have that conversation with him. But in the moment, you are honoring your feeling, and you are not coming from a place of blame and attack. You're not coming from a place of shutdown and defensiveness. You are stating what's going on within you, and then you process it and you let it go. I hope that was helpful. So back to what we were talking about, the number 2, which was that she, one second. So one wasn't that they don't chase. Number 2 was that she actually knows that men love to make women happy, and they do that by giving to her. So she's really, really good at receiving. She shows her gratitude. A man needs the gratitude in order to feel encouraged that she is available for receiving. A high-value man, will never pick a partner that cannot receive from him, because it really puts him into unfulfillment relationships. So she knows that. And on the contrary, she doesn't demand. She receives, but she's okay with the fact that a certain man may not want to give, and that's okay. And she's not going to, she's able to give to herself whatever she wants. And she feels turned off if on consistent basis the man is not giving to her. I'm not talking about, he doesn't call her one day because he's going through something, and then all of a sudden she's so turned off that she doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. But I'm talking about consistent basis, the hot and cold. 1 week he's good, the other week, he's all about her on the first week, and then after, like a week or 2 weeks later, he's completely stepped back and he's not giving to her. So she doesn't demand it, and if he's not giving to her, she starts to lose interest. And number 4 is that she is light, warm, she's breezy, she doesn't have that heavy energy all the time with her. She's not complaining, she's not always sad, she's not always in drama. It's not always, my coworkers are this and my mom is that and my friend did this and the weather is too cold and the traffic is so bad. And it's not because she's faking it. It's because her focus is really, really not on those things. She finds great things about life more than she finds the problems and we all go through that. We all get stuck in traffic and it doesn't feel good. And it never feels good when it's so cold all the time. But a light-hearted woman, a warm and breezy woman, she also talks about, oh, I love the cozy gloves that I'm wearing. It keeps my hands warm. She's positive thinking oriented. And this is something that everybody can train themselves to be. Really, truly, we can. And where focus goes, where energy flows, where focus goes. So, and this is something that you can do deliberately. You can choose to what you're focusing on at any given time. So it's not like some people are just born with it. No, they choose to focus on the positive thing, because I'm the same woman physically with the same background that I was 10 years ago. Yet 10 years ago, all I could talk about is that everything that was going on the news that was breaking my heart, and how, oh, my boss did this and that wasn't fair, and oh, my mom is so overprotective, and those were the things that I used to talk about all the time, more often than not. But now all of those things are still true except the boss part. But now I do have a lot of amazing things to talk about, because I know what I appreciates in my life. So what I put my focus on will grow. So of course I'm going to deliberately choose the things that I want more of and talk about them. And that changes my energy completely. And so the guy that was with me, and now my husband, wants to be around that light-hearted energy, a woman that can talk about things that aren't just bringing her down. And I'm not talking about the fact that you can never be sad and you can never talk about, what you're going through. I'm talking about majority of the times. Majority of the times, your energy, your default place should be happy, should be easy, should be being your default mode. Your basis needs to be in that warm and breezy energy for it to be an attraction point for high quality men. Kristen says perfect. I don't know which one, but that is great. Let's just focus on what you want and focusing on what is working, which leads to gratitude. Absolutely, gratitude. The attitude of gratitude is going to really truly be the key for you to attract more of what you want. And any man, really, even the not so great ones, it's music to their ears to hear thank you, because everybody wants to think that they are doing something right and they feel good about themselves, so they want to do more of it, so they get to feel that way again. So honestly, being thankful, being in the state of gratitude is going to even motivate the not so great ones, but it will definitely be a huge attraction builder for high quality men. I always say to my clients, as much as you want to hear I love you, a man wants to hear thank you. I love you is not on the top of the list of what they want to hear. They want to hear thank you. It means everything to them, because that means that they're doing something right in the world. So, and the last quality, like I said, was having high standards. Basically, not the surface qualities, not that how much money he can make because, well, he can lose all that money, or how good looking he is because he can get into an accident and then not look that great anymore. He can get sick and he get really, really fat or get really, really skinny. So it has less to do with the surface. And I'm not talking about, I'm not saying that you need to fall in love with a broke person, or you have to fall in love with a man that you are not physically attracted to. All of it is absolutely important, and you should like those things about a man. But I'm talking about falling in love factors. I'm talking about that consistency factor, the fact that whether or not he's a man who can do relationship, if he's a man that can actually be committed and be consistent and continue to woo you and make you happy and all of that. So a woman and men can feel that. Men can feel what kind of, if you're smitten, then you're like, whoa, he's amazing, just because he is taking you in an expensive restaurant. Receive that with joy, but don't let those things be the deciding factor that, you know, oh, I'm going to give him my heart fully now and think that he's the greatest thing in the world just because of that. No, let consistency be the factor of how he makes you feel, that you decide whether or not he is worthy of you or not. So, ladies, with that, I'm going to close. If you have any questions, let me know. Bliss says, well, I always thought it was, I respect you. Big takeaway. Respect is also really, really important, but gratitude makes a man think that he is making a difference in your life. And therefore, a man, it's his need. It's his need that if he's not making a difference, he's not on purpose. And if he's not on purpose, he doesn't have a place to be in that relationship. So gratitude is really important to that. Sri Ramya says, thank you for your pure intention, sharing your knowledge to us. You are always an angel. Oh, thank you so much, love. That really, really warms my heart. And it feels amazing to hear it. It really makes me motivated. See, ladies, gratitude works. When we share, when we are feeling that what we are sharing is appreciated, it just makes us want to do more of it. So just like it does work for me, it really, really works for men too. Mona says, very informative. Thanks for sharing. You're so welcome, lovely. And I'm so glad that I'll be getting to know you a lot more in the coming year. I am so excited. And thank you, ladies, for being here. If you watch this on a replay, let me know, #replay, and share your takeaways. Share your takeaways and let me see what kind of information is it that helps you, so I can create content that helps you in your journey. And I'm so, so happy to be with you. And with that, I'm gonna go take off, but I'll be back here tomorrow for day 2. And I look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, same time. I'll be here. I'll see you then. Lots of love. Enjoy your holidays if you're still on holidays. If you're not, just enjoy. Just enjoy life. This is my motto. Like, it doesn't have to be holidays for life to be worth living. We can choose to make every day a day of celebration and holidays, and that lights up the energy, and therefore it makes the man wants to be. Lots of love to you, and for now, bye bye.